First, let us introduce ourselves.
My name is Raiza Fira, NIM 123251104.
My name is Raka Setara Vivira Senariskullah, name 123251100.
And my name is Syafira Karsabil Hediawadani with NIM 123251115.
Okay, so today we're going to do some podcasts that talk about Shakespeare and his legacy. First, I'm gonna talk about his life and works. Okay, I'm kicking things off. Lives and work. Let's go back to April 23rd, 1564. That's when William Shakespeare was born. In a town called Stratford-upon-Avon in England. His dad, John Shakespeare, was a glove maker. He was the third of 8 kids. Yeah, a full house. He got baptized at April 26, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 3 days after he was born. Growing up, Shakespeare most likely went to the King's School in Stratford, my bad. And this was not a chill school. They studied Latin, grammar, rhetoric, and even literature. Yeah, basically intense stuff. But honestly, that education shows in his wrote later. The way he structured argument, the vocabulary he used, and all traces back to that early training. Now, his work are split into 3 main groups. First is tragedies, comedies, and the last one is histories. Oh yeah, I forgot, there's one other thing. It was his sonnets. Let me break each one down. The first one is tragedies. These are his most iconic what? I forgot.
Maybe.
The first one is tragedies. These are his iconic one. Hamlet is about Prince whose father got murdered, and then he spiraled into grief, anger, and this massive existential crisis. He's asking big questions, something about life, death, whether anything even matters. It's heavy, but it's also incredibly human. And then Macbeth, whatever it is, which is a soldier who gets a prophecy that he'll become a king, and then he just loses himself trying to make it happen. It's all about how ambition and guilt can destroy a person from the inside out. Okay. The second one is comedy, which is the fun one. A Midsummer Night Dream is a pure chaos. Fairies messing with humans, love triangles, people getting turned into donkeys. It's wild. But underneath all the comedies, it actually says something real about how irrational love can be. Twelfth Night is another good one. Mistaken identities, disguises, people falling for the wrong person. It pokes at how seriously people take love and social status. Then histories. Henry V and Richard III are the big ones. Henry V is your classic underdog king who rallies his people and become a hero. Richard III is the villain origin story. A guy who manipulates absolute everyone around him to climb to power. He is actually one of Shakespeare's most fascinating characters to study because he is so calculated and self-aware about being evil. And finally, the last one is sonnet. Shakespeare wrote 154 of them. They're short, 14-line poems, mostly about love, time passing, and beauty fading. What makes them special is the structure. This group of 4 lines, then a final punchy 2-line called couplets. They're compact but genuinely beautiful. And all of people wrote and a lot of people quote them in love letter today without even knowing it came from Shakespeare. Okay.
It's such a long
Yeah, it's such a long topic.
Life story.
And it's still part 1. There's 3 other parts that we're going to talk about today.
Exactly.
The second one is...
Okay, so I think it's my turn to talk now, and I'm going to introduce you to Shakespeare based on his impact on English literature and also his cultural legacy. Did you guys know that Shakespeare actually invented or popularized over 1700 words on English dictionary? The words like eyeball, swaggers, and bathroom, also loneliness, is actually the way he popularized those words, or he is actually the first person to write it down. Not only that, he also popularized some of the phrase like break the ice and also the heart of gold, which is insane because those words and phrase is actually the one that we use today. And also, if you meet a friend that say, why do we need to care much about Shakespeare, then you need to make them remember when they say those words. He also popularized something that called iambic pentameter. It sounds really serious or technical, right? But iambic pentameter actually just a rhythm, like the word da, dum. So the first word or phrase using open syllables, and the second word or phrase using like closed syllable one. So this iambic pentameter actually used by Shakespeare to make his writes more easy listening to or make it more like a flow. But somehow the writer after him start to make it into a standard. So if you want to make your writer feel more great, like the way Shakespeare did, then you need to use iambic pentameter, basically that. And his influence on the writer itself, I mean, is really big because the famous writer like the poems, we have John Keats, and then in the playwright we have Tennessee Williams, I guess that's how you call it. They openly talk about how Shakespeare is the one that shaped the way they are right now. Basically, Shakespeare created a blueprint of human emotion, like the emotion that we're unfamiliar with, like love, and then jealousy, envy, grieving is actually the theme that Shakespeare brings. And basically, after Shakespeare created this blueprint, then that's when the writer after him start to create the construction out of it. Now, for the cultural legacy, this is where it gets really globally viral. So basically, Shakespeare's work has been translated over 100 languages, which is really insane because people from different countries like Indonesia to Japan, Brazil, and probably Nigeria has already performed or watched or even read Shakespeare's works. And then there are so many entire festivals dedicated to him. From the Starport, they have the Shakespeare Festival in Canada, and then in the US they have Oregon Festival, and I feel like the one in the UNER itself, I mean Shakespeare, is actually based on the Shakespeare. Basically, his plays are still being performed continuously from all over the world, and also some of them actually becoming in the theater worldwide in London, from the modern one to the traditional one. And from the several adaptations, oh man, did you guys know that the movie Lion King is actually based on Hamlet? And also there is a rom-com movie that been viral several years that called 10 Things I Hate About You, is actually the taming of the shrew. And then there's also this movie that called West Side Story. Is actually the new version of Romeo and Juliet.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Raya. That's such a wonderful explanation. And now it's my turn, and I'm going to talk about something that maybe we all can relate today. Because especially as a student, which is the topic I'm going to talk about is Shakespeare in school and why he still feel relevant in our life all the time. Okay, so the first one, the topic is about Shakespeare in school. Did you guys know that in many countries, Shakespeare is part of the curriculum? Some countries like Denmark, Scotland, India, and other countries use these plays like Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth are often taught by teachers to their students in order to help them understand better about literary history, language, and also themes. And even though it's not common in Indonesia, but these works are still widely studied in English classes or at university, especially in English department, like us right now, right? Okay, and if you are start wondering where did the modern storytelling came from, then Shakespeare is kind of the starting point. And the next one is like what I told you earlier about university. When it comes to university life, it goes even deeper because there are entire courses that dedicated just to Shakespeare. Something like analyzing his language, digging into the historical context of his plays, and also comparing difference between production and interpretations. So basically, English department treats him as the foundation that everything else is built on. And there's a lot to learn about because you can start to learn about Romeo and Juliet in middle school and end up writing a PhD thesis about Hamlet in 20 years later. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Okay, we're going to move to the next topic, which is it doesn't stop with students because scholars and researchers are also writing about Shakespeare. Every year, there are new books and new journal articles about this work, which leads to ongoing debates about what these plays are actually means. And honestly, the academic conversation around Shakespeare has been going on for centuries, and it's generally still going strong until today. And that's what if you can think about it, because its impact on education is really big, right?
Yes.
It's so big. And now we move to into my favorite part because it talks about modern relevance. Maybe some people or some of you guys still think that Shakespeare are kinda outdated, but honestly, if you look around, it is everywhere. Have you ever read or heard about 10 things that 10 things that you had the most?
The movie one?
The movie one.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was actually adapted from his stories, which is the title is, if I'm not mistaken, is The Taming of the Shrew
Yes.
by Shakespeare.
You guys know.
Yeah, and honestly, it's kind of insane because some of his plays are continue to be adapted into movie until right now, and some of these other stories like Romeo and Juliet from Macbeth and from Kenneth Branagh, he made the version stay to the original, where the Busserman made a modern of Romeo and Juliet set in a city with using guns as their weapons instead of swords. So honestly, it's the beauty of the story because the story are flexible enough to become anything. Okay, so we're going to move to the last subtopic that I'm going to talk about, which is maybe until this part you are still wondering what kind of topics did Shakespeare write about, and I'm going to explain you about this one. So actually Shakespeare did write about corruption, power, inequality, and also racism. And I many of those topics feels familiar to us, especially about what country we are living in right now and the world we are living in right now. So it becomes one of the reasons why his place still feel relevant to our life all the time. Because honestly, the truth is we are never actually fix these problems, and some of the new generation might read about this story and will see their own world in it. So it's kind of heartbreaking if you can think about it, because yeah, actually the problem has never been resolved all the time. And yeah, I think that's all from me.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to continue to the next section.
Okay. Cut.
Okay, so welcome to the last session, guys. So in this session, we're just going to play a little game where we're guessing like the word that we have been saying lately.
Yes. And here are some words that we can take a guess.
Yeah,
Okay, so for the first one, are you ready?
I think I'm ready, guys.
Okay, so
It's okay, it's okay. So this is the first word and
Okay. So, okay.
yeah.
Is it about his school?
Cool.
School.
School. Oh nah, no.
About his country or state?
No.
Is it about the word that he have ever said?
Yes.
Is it about an idiom?
Yeah.
Wild goose chase?
No.
Break the ice.
Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Congrats.
oh my god.
Yes.
I got it right, guys.
Yes, sir. Okay. So the second one is
Okay, it's my
you.
turn.
It's your turn or it's still her turn?
It's my turn.
Okay. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one.
Pick some of the words.
Wait. Look. Liatin.
Okay. This is the word, guys.
What is this? What? Okay. Kelihatan. Okay.
So,
Okay. Is it about his works?
He's not about his works actually.
But it's related to his works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it about literary?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But is it related to us as a
Yes.
student?
Yes.
Is it curriculum?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
I got it right.
Yes.
I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's
It's
your
my turn. Yeah.
Yep.
So who's gonna take the camera? Here you go.
Okay.
Saya ini udah
Udah,
pegangan.
dia.
Oke.
Oh, hello Radit. So you just choose one. Show it to the
Choose
camera
one.
and then give it
Okay.
to me.
Ta-da! This is the word, guys.
Wait.
Oh, okay. What is this? It's definitely the topic that we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Is it his home?
No.
No.
His school?
No.
What else? His work.
Yes.
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 Is it one of his novel?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Sonnet.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So, what's
the second turn. Which? Okay. Wait, who? Raya first, right?
Okay.
Okay. Let's choose some word from this. Wait. Okay.
So it is still about the praise.
Nope.
Is it about his works?
Yeah.
It might be.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe.
Is it about his life, or is it about his impact?
Yeah.
Impact, yeah. Maybe about his cultural legacy.
Yeah.
Oh my
damn.
god!
You're good at it.
Thank you.
Do-do-do.
And it's finally Salsa turn again. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the word.
Wait.
Blur ya.
Okay. Done. Ding.
Okay. So it is about his works.
Yeah. Is it?
I don't think so. But it's about his works, but it's not his works.
Yeah.
Is it related to maybe reading about something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Is it a skill that we should have as a student?
Yeah.
I think it's about literacy analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literary
that's
analysis,
right.
actually.
Alright,
Yeah. Now it's my turn.
Okay, your turn again.
Ooh. So who's gonna take the camera?
Me, wait.
Okay.
I'm going back.
This is the word that I choose. Okay.
Wait. Let me take a wild guess. Is it the man himself, William Shakespeare?
No.
No. Oh, yeah. What else? His hometown?
No.
No?
No.
No.
His school?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. What is his Kings? What is it again? King something school?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, what is it? King's
King's
New
New
School.
School.
Oh, I forgot about
Got
it.
it.
Oh, dang. I think it's okay. I think it. Yeah. I think it's finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all for the last session, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's time that
What? That what?
it's time we are end our session,
Yeah. Ooh.
our podcast.
Yeah. Thank you, y'all.
Thank you for watching, guys.
Yes. Goodbye. See you.
See you. Bye.